From within the FileCloud admin portal under Governance Retention, as an administrator, you can create retention policies to automate some of the process related to protecting files, their folders, by groupings. This policy-based automation is designed to help secure digital content for compliance, but it can also enhance the management of digital content for other business reasons. Within FileCloud, under the Manage Retention Policies, you have multiple capabilities, such as viewing the current retention policy you've created, filtering by policy name, selecting how many policies you want to look at, viewing the effective policies, which will display the current policies and where are they being into effect, such as this path where it says data archive, or which files are being affected by the policy. You're also going to be able to add a new policy. FileCloud has multiple types of retention policies, such as retention, archival, legal hold, trash retention, and admin hold. Each retention policy has its own unique capabilities, which can be reviewed under documentation under retention policies. Going back into the admin portal, we're going to be creating a retention policy which allows your organization to identify specific content that is required to be stored for a specific amount of time before it can be accessed. During this retention period, the content cannot be deleted or archived. We start off by creating a name, and we're going to call this production archive. And brief description. And then you're given multiple options. For example, you can hide the policy from the users. That way users will not see that that file or folder has a retention policy being applied to it. You can enable it, alert on violation, meaning that if somebody were to try to violate this rule or policy, you will get notified and send an email alert, and you can specify the email address that should be alerted. In this case, I'm not going to enable this. Now, this policy, the retention policy in particular, can be applied to either a path or metadata. By applying it to a path, I can state, hey, apply this rule to the following path. By applying this rule to this path, any document or folder created under this path will inherit the retention policy. As well, I can create, for the same retention policy, apply the policy to any document that has the metadata, Social Security, SIN, and for example, I can say identified. So if there's any metadata on the system that contains the metadata set, Social Security, with the attribute SSN and its value identified, this policy will apply to it, meaning that that document will not be able to be deleted until the following specified expiration date of the policy. On the actions, I can select the expiration date and I can specify a time period, which ranges from 30 days to a custom. Custom means I can enter as much days as I wanted, for example, 1,000 days. Or I can set a fixed date and set that I want this policy to apply until the end of this year, or set it to indefinite. Then once the policy expires, I can decide on no action on the policy or permanently delete it. Once my policy is completely created, I can go ahead and save it. Once the policy has been created and added successfully, it's now taking into effect on every single file and folder within that path. You can also click on the view history, and you're going to be able to see where's that policy being applied to. You can see all of the files where the policy is being applied. And here I can see the retention policy has been successfully propagated. You can also see the files that are in effect of this retention policy. And if there are any, there will be appearing here. And keep in mind, you can also edit the policy, as for example, if you wanted to view certain information from within the policy, right? Like changing its description, or maybe you want to add another user to the email alert so that the user is also notified. Once a retention policy is created for the scenario, it cannot be deleted by the system administrator. To delete a retention policy, you will need to contact our support team at support@qualys.com so we can further assist you on removing the retention policy from your system. Now, in this example, I've created multiple retention policies. We're going to go ahead and test the personal archive right here. So if I, as an administrator, go into team folders and I see data archive and I try to delete this folder, not even the administrator will be able to delete it. As you can see here, failed deleting with message delete not allowed because FileCloud data archive is protected by retention policy. Moving over to the user portal, this is what the end user will be able to see. From the end user portal, if I try to delete data archive folder, you're going to notice that they're going to experience the same thing. You can also notice that by clicking data archive, here at the bottom, in retention policy, I'm able to see the information that this file is under an effective policy, data archive retention. And if I go into the folder, I am able to see that this file is under the effective policy data archive, which lets me know that the retention policy has been propagated across all files and folders under data archive. Hence, if I try to delete anything, I won't be allowed to. Now going back into the admin portal, you can apply different policies depending on your scenario. For more details on a retention policy, our documentation will provide you a little bit more information in regards to when will certain retention policies apply. This will provide you better information in regards to fit your needs as per retention policies. These are the capabilities that you can do on managed retention policies under governance retention from the admin portal.